Talbot able to reach high to make the catch. Can't connect on the three, though.
Yeah, she's 0 for 5 in her last shots.
Here's Renee Montgomery, who's come in to spell Lindsay Whalen, and Montgomery with a quick pull-up knocks it down.
She is instant offense for the Lynx.
The shooting's been off a little bit during the course of this season. Taurasi up the Griner screen for three, no. Rebound Moore. Kicks it out to Brunson for three, yes. Well, as you noted, shooting 40+%, and she's not the only one on this Minnesota team.
Well, this is the number 2 3-point shooting team in the league, averaging almost 38% from threes. And they've got 4 players with over 40% from the three-point range, and Maya Moore shoots 48%.
Yeah, Brunson at 44.
Or Augustus does. And Augustus only has taken 25.
Yeah, not a big volume of threes, but shooting a high percentage. Talbot gives up the dribble. Finds Griner up high. 3 on the shot clock. Griner on the spin. Free throw line extended jumper. Got it. 2-point Minnesota lead at 12-10. Just under 5 to go here in the opening quarter. And a whistle and a foul called away from the action. And that's going to be whistled against Sylvia Fowles. And that brings us to our first timeout here. Downtown Phoenix.
Had 5 days off. They're coming off a loss against Chicago.
One of their worst losses in recent memory.
Gave up 100 points, 76 to 100. They lost to Chicago. Chicago was phenomenal, shooting the ball almost 60%.
Trying to go into that high post to Griner with Fowles slipping behind her to knock it out of bounds. Now you talk about this Lynx team. This is the 7th of 8 times the Lynx will play this year with 5+ days of rest. Griner on the spin, bumped, and he certainly appeared to be fouled right there by Fowles, but no whistle.
And there's so much talk this year how Sylvia Fowles has really stepped up her game this year, and her teammates are really looking for her.
Augustus on the pull-up, misfiring. Robinson runs into a wall right there. Brunson and Fowles. Let's see who the whistle is against. That's going to go on Fowles, so that's 2 on Sylvia Fowles.
Well, like you said, it looked like a great wall of Sylvia Fowles. And
well, that's one you go back to the previous play. Probably should have been a whistle on Griner's shot right there. Maybe not so much.
Yeah,
but
Robinson getting knocked down and gets the call.
Significant size difference there between Danielle Robinson and Sylvia Fowles, who heads to the bench. Lynette Pearson comes into the game, and now we're going to have the offensive foul called on Griner as Pearson, and we talked about this last week, Annie. Lynette Pearson trying to fight underneath, and all Griner's doing is trying to get her arm up. So I'm not sure what a post player is supposed to do right there when that arm's being locked down by the defender.
The other thing is I thought that the Lynx might get called for a 3-second because Maya Moore was in the key for a long time trying to help out.
Montgomery can't find the range on the 3. 2-point Minnesota lead. Here's Robinson with that left hand, able to get past Pearson. Gives up the dribble, though, and right into the hands of Simone Augustus. Augustus lost her balance, able to keep the dribble alive. On the fadeaway, up and over the top of Griner. 14-10. Rossi working to her right. Quick pass inside, but not nearly quick enough. And that's the thing against this Minnesota defense. You have got to make precision passes. Augustus raising up again and knocks down the left wing jumper.
They are number 1 in the league, forcing over 16 turnovers a game.
And that will result in a Sandy Brondello timeout being called with 2:49 to go here in the opening quarter. The Lynx on a quick run here, 17.
Leslie's, pool care made easy.
Back at Talking Stick Resort Arena here in downtown Phoenix, along with the Hall of Famer Ann Myers Drysdale, Kevin Ray. Monique Curry's checked into the game, along with Leilani Mitchell. Quick 5-0 run by Minnesota has them enjoying a 17-10 lead. Curry for three. Lindsay Whalen's come back into the game after looked like she was grimacing early on as Maya Moore raising up and shooting an air ball. That one rolling out of bounds.
And
prior to that shot, they were 3 of 6 from deep.
And Sandy Brondello going with the two bigs, Angel Robinson at 6'5", 6'6", and 6'9", Brittany Griner, trying to use the size inside.
Leilani Mitchell coming off another spectacular outing. She got 6 of her 13 in that fourth quarter when Phoenix had to rally. She's out there along with Yvonne Turner. Another whistle and a foul.
Yvonne Turner setting a pick in the lane for Brittany Griner and kind of holding up the defense for the Lynx, and Lynx get called for a foul.
Fourth team foul on Minnesota. Phoenix has yet to shoot a free throw attempt. In fact, neither team has attempted one.
In the Atlanta game, not a lot of fouls called in that game either for the Mercury.
Griner with the veteran Pearson on her. Working baseline, goes up strong, but rims out. Turner able to track it down, reset on the shot clock, sneaking baseline, but left it short. Phoenix shooting just 35% from the field. Here's Gia Perkins. And a travel there on Perkins. 14th season out of Texas Tech as she joins another Red Raider and Flynette Pearson, the one-time member of the Phoenix Mercury.
Yeah, another player that went to 2004 to Charlotte was a number 35 pick. And it's held on for a long time. Oh, they call an offensive foul on Brittany Griner. And Perkins looked like she ran into Pearson.
Only for Griner, that will be number 2. (17-10), Phoenix in the midst of a scoring drought now. Here's Whalen way outside, works to her left off the Pearson screen. Hand off to Moore. Moore on the drive, drop it off Pearson, raising up, knocking down.
Good patience by the Lynx, got a wide open shot.
Mitchell on the drive and drop off pass to Griner, too strong. On the follow-up, Robinson will be fouled. It looks like they're going to call the foul prior to the putback attempt.
You don't
Either way, it's going to result in a couple of free throws.
The Mercury do not want Brittany Griner to pick up a technical. She was not happy with the no call. And the first free throws of the game.
Officiating crew is Tommy Nunez, Tara Cruz, and Byron Jarrett.
Tommy Nunez was here a few games ago and went down right in front of us with his back. So it's good to see him back out on the court. Augustus.
That's the first point for Phoenix in about 4 minutes, and they've gone without a field goal about 5 minutes now.
Yeah, Augustus and Brunson both with 5 points in this first quarter, and Talbot and Little have not scored for the Mercury. Yeah. So you'd like to get a little bit more from your front court.
Yeah, Camille Little has played so well over the last several games for Phoenix, getting comfortable here in her first year in a Mercury uniform. Augustus across the lane, just raising up and over the top of the defense, puts it up and in. 21-12. Mitchell for 3. Can't get it. Rebound inside Curry. Keeps it alive. Under 30 to play. Turner on the drive and collides with the defense there in the paint. When you're struggling as much as Phoenix is right now, that's the best medicine, is it not? Just try to be aggressive and get to the basket.
They've had some good looks at the basket. It's not fallen down for them. A couple times they've had the good offensive rebound, and you're absolutely right. Vonnie Turner taking it to the basket, getting the foul. And you saw Leilani Mitchell come through the lane, dribble back out. So just trying to force the defense to drop down. And Mercury missing that free throw.
Only 1 of 2. Shot clock and game clock almost in sync, about a 0.7 of a second difference, as Augustus will hold on to it out near midcourt. Monique Curry checking her defensively. Augustus gets the switch to her left, knocks it down with 1.1 left here in the quarter. Turner from half court, good it goes. Back iron, no. The Lynx closing the quarter on a strong run, and as a result, take a 10-point lead. We head to the second. Minute downtown Phoenix, along with Ann Myers Drysdale and Kevin Ray. 23-13, an 11-0 run by the Lynx. They take a 10-point lead heading into this second quarter. They're the number 1 scoring team in the league at just over 87 points per game. And looking like a team that had a 5-day rest.
Absolutely. Simone Augustus, 9 points, shooting 4 of 6 from the floor, and Monique Curry getting called for that foul against Augustus as she's trying to come across around the screen.
And I'm sure it wasn't just a basic 5-day rest, considering coming off of having surrendered 100 points last Saturday to Chicago.
Well, Augustus is in a zone, and certainly she's doing a great job coming off those screens and getting wide open looks.
Here's Robinson on the handoff to Turner. On the drive, spins in traffic, takes it glass. Pretty finish there from Yvonne Turner.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we talked about. That's what Turner can do. Get in the lane, create shots for herself, and she can shoot the rock from the outside.
Augustus has already matched her point total from the first meeting this season as Monique Curry whistled for the foul. She gets tangled up there with Plennette Pearson.
Yeah, a nice spin move and up against 4 gray jerseys. Monique Curry not happy with the 2 calls against her.
25-15, they maintain that 10-point advantage. They led by as many as 12 in the first meeting. Here's Augustus again. Misfires on that one.
There's a mismatch on defense. Mercury kind of got lost off the switch, and Augustus had a wide open shot.
Mitchell on the drive and kick. Turner cutting baseline. It was Howard who was able to get a hand on it there. Tasha Howard, 6'2" in her 4th season out of Florida State.
Now Maya Moore defending Turner, kind of a big mismatch.
Down to 3 on the shot clock. Mitchell. It's going to be a travel as she changed pivot feet, and Whalen just had her locked up defensively. And what's the thing against this defense? You cannot give up your dribble.
Oh, she was better off, and as point guard, especially you don't give up your dribble, but she was better off getting called for the travel rather than throwing up a wild shot inside the shot clock and then the Lynx coming down and looking for a fast break.
Yeah, as you say, maybe leading to a fast break opportunity. Taurasi got a hand on that pass, but couldn't come away with it cleanly. Pearson up high, inside Augustus. Easiest shot of the night, and she's got 13.
Now, this is a Lynx team, too, that is much bigger than the Mercury, and you can look at Griner at 6'9", but it still doesn't compete on the perimeter as far as their bigs. 6'1", 6'1", 6'2".
Mitchell will sit down as Robinson also sits down. Talbot checks in as Coach Sandy Brondello coming back with her starting unit here, trying to create a spark. Club down by a dozen right now, 27-15.
And this is a Mercury team that, yes, they can fight back, and they showed that against Atlanta. That was their biggest comeback. But, you know, so much nicer if you can play from above and ahead of somebody.
Well, especially against a team like Minnesota, again, the number 1 defensive team in the league.
Well, they're number 1 in scoring, number 3 in field goal percentage, number 2 in three-point percentage.
Began the season 13-0 as Moore
Well, that was a travel.
tripped up. Should have been called for a travel and instead lost the handle. Moore just 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting.
Now, they're also number one in the least amount of fouls in a game. And again, Danielle Robinson picking up her dribble and needed to keep it. That time, Robinson brings her defense over.
Little able to save it and get it over to Griner, who goes up strong, draws the contact for the foul.
Yeah, the Mercury really got bailed out on that one.
But anyway, we talked about it. With this Minnesota team, your passes have to be crisp. And more importantly, the one thing that we've seen this Mercury team do from time to time is, especially against a locked-on defense like Minnesota, you've got to have more ball fakes. And if you're the player receiving that pass, sealing off your defender.
Yeah, and if you play in a team like the Lynx, not only those things, but also you got to vary from your offense a little bit because they're playing so tight. Run some backdoor stuff.
Moore on the crossover, knocks down the pull-up.
Well, there's not much you can do against that. She is just so pretty off that shot.
Love to see Taurasi catch fire here in the second quarter. Had 6 threes on Wednesday in the victory over Atlanta. Little can't handle the pass, and we can see Minnesota just gives you no breathing room, whether you're 10 feet from the basket or 22 feet from the basket.
One of the things about Atlanta that the Mercury came back and won is that they've got younger players on that team, but this is a veteran team, and what the Mercury did against Atlanta, they set good, solid screens. They're not able to set the solid screens against this Lynx team because they're such veteran players who know how to get through them.
Whalen with a wide open three, can't connect, but Moore with inside position taps it up and in. 31-17, their biggest deficit of the night and now biggest deficit of the season. Minnesota feeling very good about themselves right now, leading by 14. You're watching a 5-day stretch that sees Minnesota play 6 of 7 against Western Conference rivals, 3 of those coming here against Phoenix. And we've already talked about that 5+ days of rest that they have enjoyed, coming off of that 100-79 loss last weekend.
Yeah, you get some rest in those legs. They're shooting 58% from the floor.
Yeah, they've definitely got a bounce to their play here so far tonight. 5 on the shot clock. Griner on the fadeaway.
Well, they do such a great job running their offense, and then on the defensive end, you can see the pressure they put on the Mercury. Mercury really out of sync on their offense.
Well, Griner, with the exception of her first basket tonight, hasn't had anything down low. Fouls, missing the point-blank shot, misses a second one as Griner there to perhaps get a fingertip on it. Robinson on the drive.
Well, I don't know how that happened.
That defense, yeah, fouls. 2 point-blank shots. Just don't see that very often.
Yeah, Little was down on the ground. Talbot got out of place, and Fouls is wide open by herself and couldn't put those 2 in.
Here's Little, had the wide open look, but passed it up instead.
Yeah, you can't hesitate against this defense.
Little inside, and boy, those are the shots you absolutely cannot miss against this Minnesota team.
Yeah, Little did a nice job getting inside and using that spin, and it doesn't come in for her.
Brunson's pull-up off the mark. Robinson racing up ahead, going right at Lindsay Whalen, throws it up off the glass.
Well,
looking for a whistle and a foul that won't come.
Yeah, Sandy Brandello thought that there was some contact by Whalen. Whalen just tried to avoid it.
Here's Brunson, lost the handle, but a double dribble.
It was a nice rotation on the defensive end that time by the Mercury.
And Annie, we know this, whether it's the NBA, the WNBA, when you are a consistent, solid defensive team like Minnesota has been over the last 5-6 seasons, your reputation definitely helps you night in and night out with officials.
You think? which we've seen. But the Mercury right now have gone 7 minutes, only 4 points in this quarter.
Now, and that was after a drought of 5 minutes without a field goal in the first. So it has been a struggle here in this first half as Robinson lost the handle on the attempted skip pass. Here comes Moore. Kicking it out to Brunson. Brunson left all alone. Thought she'd pull from three. Instead, she gives it back to Moore.
Yeah, she's not going to hesitate. But what the Lynx does, too, what they do is they have such good outside shooters that they'll put it up, and they have confidence that their teammates are going to be underneath on the offensive glass, which they have, and Sylvia Fowles got inside position. That time Brittany Griner from behind had to knock it out of bounds.
Moore on the bounce pass inside. Just an easy ball fake, and Renee Montgomery missing. A little chip-in layup. So Phoenix catching a break, one from Fowles, and that one from Montgomery. Pass over the top. Griner takes the feed from Tarasi for the easy lay-in.
It was one of the cleanest offensive plays we've seen by the Mercury in this first half.
Very little has come easy. Down by a dozen. If they could somehow get this down to 5 or 6 even, as Brunson coming in with an elbow right into the face of Griner, and we're going to get a replay on this one. Griner whistle for the
Indiana when Penny Taylor got a natural action with the elbow in the mouth.
So they did get the technical free throw, but of course they give up 2 free throws here in the shooting foul. Third team foul on Phoenix, 4 on Minnesota. That foul on Griner, by the way, her third. So,
yeah, and Brunson misses that, and no block out by the Mercury, and a great opportunity for the Lynx to take advantage. Another offensive rebound.
Talbot on the drive. You can see how well she's defended there by Maya Moore. Challenge. Brunson flies across the lane. Knocks it out of bounds.
Are you looking for the Mercury to see who's the physical player that's going to step up? And give credit to the Lynx. They've controlled this offense and the defense from the very beginning of this game and being the aggressors.
Well, again, part of being the number one defense is Tarasi forced to shoot kind of a fading shot to her left. Wanted to pass, but...
Well, and it was a direct pass. You knew exactly where it was going.
Brunson is Moore.
Well,
sent
Diana
flying.
Trossy's saying, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, and she does knock Moore down in the corner.
Mitchell Curry is Sandy Brondello trying to find a combination of players that is going to give her something. But you point out, Annie, the problem becomes Phoenix gets a little bit smaller in the process.
And a little frustrated, too.
Yeah, and that is what Minnesota really feeds off of, as Moore works to her right. Mitchell cuts her off. 4 on the shot clock, and that pass sails out of bounds. That turnover just the 6th. That was the one thing in the first meeting between these two teams. Phoenix forced 13 turnovers, got 24 points off of them. And that was a winnable game in the first matchup.
Right. Yeah, even with Griner in foul trouble on the bench most of the time. Well, no, the screens are like either the dribbler is not waiting for the screen or they're not going shoulder to shoulder.
Little too strong on that effort.
Because
long rebound, Montgomery.
The defense is getting right through.
Montgomery can't hit that pull-up in the paint. Rossi telling Mitchell, let's slow it up a little bit. Slow start for DT, just 1 of 6 from the field. Comes up the screen. Works to her right. Baseline pull-up, no. Little taking it down the lane, but another layup opportunity miss. And a whistle and a foul. Biggest deficit for Phoenix, 14 here a couple times tonight. There's Camille Little unable to cut into that.
Yeah, both
Phoenix
Talbot struggling from the floor.
Was knocked down 22 straight in the game Wednesday night before Little, the only miss of the night, coming with just over 2 seconds left in the game.
That was my bad. I said something.
you put the hex on her?
I did.
Taurasi knocks it out of bounds. Under 2.5 to go here in the first half. Phoenix led by 3 very early. Then Minnesota went on a 7-0 run, and they've not trailed since. Fouls with a look inside. Little got a piece of it. Well, those are the kind of plays you have to make against this Minnesota team. And Annie, your point well taken. Minnesota's just flat out been the more aggressive team tonight.
Yeah, they're very patient on the offense. They ran a nice play, and Little came up with a big block. There's a nice
off
screen.
The screen and just can't find the range. Taurasi now 1 of 8, including 0 of 2 from downtown. Pass over the top to Pearson, but Robinson.
Wow.
Caught holding Pearson's arm as she tried to release inside.
Well, even though Dee missed that last shot on the last possession, it was wide open. She had plenty of time because it was a good solid screen. I think it was really the first one that they've set all night long so far.
Taurasi had 15 in that loss back on June 30th against this team. 5 of 14 from the field. She was 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. As the veteran Planette Pearson in her 15th season with a knock down the free throws. At 27 starts last season when she was with Dallas.
Now Little starting to set some good screens. They're going to call a foul on Montgomery as Little was going to the basket. Montgomery kind of got caught holding, and Cheryl Reeve coming over to close to half court saying, calm down. Trying to keep her team under control. And they have had no reason to really kind of lose control because they're controlling the game.
Up by 15 before that shot. And Little again, 1 of 2 from the stripe. Well, when you're down by double digits, you've got to make the most of it.
Now she's a 57.7% free throw shooter.
Pearson passes over the top in deep to Fouls. Fouls just overpowering the defense from Little.
Yeah, Fouls.
Puts it up and in.
She brought the ball down. I thought Monique Curry was going to go after it, but you know, when you get the small guard mentality like Robinson and Mitchell, they might have come up with it.
Here's Taurasi. Turn and fire, no. Montgomery racing into the front court. Little high scoop shot. Falls into the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell racing. Drop it off to Taurasi, who will lay it up and in. Takes us under a minute to go now with the Lynx in control, 38-24.
That's only Taurasi's second basket, 2 of 10 in this first half.
And another offensive foul. This is going to be charged on Pearson. Free throws coming up, and that also brings us to
making his way to his favorite game at Casino Arizona. He'll get there eventually. Arizona winners, choose Casino Arizona. We're local.
Rossi on the drive, drops it off to Little. Little splits the defense. Has some contact, but no whistle again. Just solid defense, and now a whistle.
They call a timeout.
Stop and play. That's going to be charged on Taurasi, and Taurasi's going to be whistled for the technical foul. And clearly,
well, Whalen trying to go around that Angel Robinson pick got nailed in the thigh. And Diana just not happy about getting some kind of contact and no foul. And as we talked about it off air, and just the frustration by her.
Well, the technical shot good, 39-24, matching their biggest lead of the night at 15. But a 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And Minnesota has just completely taken Phoenix out of their offense, has them frustrated. Taurasi stretching the defense out on Simone Augustus, who has had a terrific first half. 4 on the shot clock, inside fouls. Fouls, again, just overpowering the defense from Camille Little.
Yeah, too easy.
Here's Mitchell on the drive. Leaves 3 on the shot clock. Little on the pull-up, no. And a frustrating first half for the Phoenix Mercury comes to a close. With our score at the break.
First half, and certainly, 11 points in that second quarter, 13 points in the first quarter. And I guess a bright spot, you would say, that they held the Mercury to only 18 points in the third quarter.
Held the Lynx. The basketball.
They held the Lynx to 18 points.
Fouls going to work down low.
Well, Talbot was too late closing, and Fouls really had the opportunity to turn on that play.
Sylvia Fouls now 10 points.
Remember the first meeting, Camille Little had tied her career high with 16 points. She's got 2 in this game. Talbot had 8 points. She's got 0.
Well, and it's Little who's played so well over this stretch. Of course, Phoenix winners of 4 straight. So, combined with Minnesota's terrible loss last week and Phoenix's 4-game win streak, you knew Minnesota was going to come in with a very aggressive mindset.
But you've got to get production. You got to get production from your 3 and 4 player.
Griner on the leaner, Moore looking for the foul, won't get it, but he did force the Griner miss.
Yeah, and then she stood there. Moore was on the ground and didn't follow her shot.
Fouls again, draws the double. Quick passing is Brunson able to slip inside. Griner with a rebound. That is just her 3rd. Robinson on the drive and kick. Talbot out of the corner for 3. Got it. Boy, Phoenix could use a whole lot more of that.
Yeah, she had shot 3 of 4 about 3 games ago and then has been scoreless from the 3-point shot, 0 for 5 before she knocked that one in.
First points of the night. Pass inside. Little went for the steal, lost it. Trickles into the hands of Fouls, trying to work baseline. And dribbles it off her foot and out of bounds.
One of the few times that Griner and Fouls have been matched up with Griner on defense.
Sylvia Fouls with 2 personal fouls.
And Julie Haregrove, the assistant coach, going off the court, said we've just got to take it 1 possession at a time.
Yeah, you certainly can't get it back in a hurry here against Minnesota.
Well, that would have been a big shot by Taurasi. She is 0 for 4 from threes.
Pretty drive and drop-off pass there by Moore. Sets up the easy lay-in, and that's really been the difference. And he is so many of the easy shots that Minnesota has gotten, and almost virtually everything Phoenix has gotten has been challenged.
Yeah, 10 assists for this Lynx team.
Rossi able to slip inside, goes for the spin shot as she went up and was challenged by Fouls. That foul will be the 3rd charged on Fouls.
Maya Moore with a nice spin gets Griner to commit, double off, and Sylvia Fouls wide open. So nice assist, 4 for Maya Moore.
And you said it early on. I mean, not only they're number 1 in scoring, but number 2 in 3-point shooting and number 1 in assists per game at almost 21 per. Rossi with the 2 free throws, 45-29. Robinson going with the steal. Augustus barking at the official. Talbot comes up with a steal. Triggers the break opportunity. Robinson racing to the hoop. Gets the lay-in. Cheryl Reed calls a timeout, and look at Reed barking at her team. She's also barking at Byron Jarrett. She wanted to. But they're going to need a whole lot more of that. If they hope to rally here tonight against this Minnesota team that comes in with the league's best record at 13-2. Began the season 13-0. Again, just great execution, deep post position, and sets up another fouls lay-in. That's a third here just in the third quarter alone.
Why do you think she shoots 66%? When she gets that deep in the lane, and that time Diana Taurasi doing a nice job using the screen and forcing Whalen to go right into it. But look at how deep Sylvia Fowles gets in that circle, and not much that Brittany Griner can do. Now one dribble, Talbot picks it up. The other thing on those dribbles is you talked about, Kevin, you got to go somewhere. You can't just stand there and take one dribble and now you're stuck.
8 on the shot clock, 7 minutes here on the game clock, 47-31. Talbot on the drive and kick, finds Robinson. Quick pull up, got it.
Much better action in the offense coming out in this half.
Moore, pull up three, yes. Just like that, they have a quick counter for you.
Yeah, 4 of 9, the Lynx, 1 of 8. The Mercury were 0 for 6 in that first half from threes.
Talbot out of the corner for three. They're going to call it a long 2.
Well, we've seen Talbot and do that several times in Turner. You know, you've got to know where that three-point shot is and get those threes if you're going to take that long shot.
Moore with the ball fake, steps in, little cuts her off. Fouls moving away from the entry pass, rolls out of bounds. Turnover Minnesota, their 10th for the game, but Phoenix has not been able to capitalize on many points, just 6 off of those 10 Minnesota turnovers. Griner working on fouls, lost the handle.
Well, Griner getting the ball way outside the lane and looking to take fouls one-on-one, but, you know, you've got to do dribbling drills too. And I think centers are very capable of handling the ball, but you've got to practice it.
But that's not where you want your
no
6'9" big
getting the basketball. Griner is just all over Fowles, and Fowles didn't like it and pushed her away, caught her in the neck.
That'll be number 4 on Fowles, who's got 14.
So what would have happened if that foul above her shoulders had been more effective? Would that have been a flagrant or a technical? I don't know.
It certainly would have created a review opportunity, one would think, is Taurasi. They're going to mark it for review. They list it as a long 2 right now. Moore on the drive and kick out to Whalen, who's able to snare it. Steps in, left elbow, yes.
Whalen with her first basket, and you can see the Mercury have come out aggressive offensively, looking for more shots.
Taurasi trying to make it back-to-back shots. No, Talbot leaning in, trying to get the rebound, but trickles off her fingertips. Right at 5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Dean certainly frustrated. 3 of 13 from the floor, 0 of 5 from threes, so they gave her a 2 on that one.
After knocking down 6 in the game Wednesday night, gave her a season-high 58 makes from deep. League leader in that category. Here's Augustus, who had the big first half. Down low to Brunson. Brunson has it swatted away by Griner. Brunson gives her a little nod of the head, saying, okay. Moore goes to the steal. Talbot claims it, and then collides there with Maya Moore.
A great help by Brittany Griner coming from behind, and the fadeaway by Brunson. And off to the races, the Mercury were going, and kind of a turnover, and Talbot able to hold on to it, and Moore gets called for the foul.
One of the rare games this season that Brittany did not have a single block, and that came Wednesday night. Had 28 points, 8 rebounds. Little swings it over to Talbot, open for 3 again. Whalen. Moving in on the 4-minute mark here. Pearson spins. High arching three from Moore out of the corner. Yes.
Well, how about that? I mean, talk about the Lynx knowing exactly where everybody was. Pearson was just so off balance and threw it out there, knew that somebody, and it was Maya Moore, was wide open.
It's a pretty good somebody to get it to. 14 points for Moore. Over the top pass. Griner takes it from Taurasi, gets the foul and a finish.
Now, great hesitation there. The ball fake that D used, and giving Griner time enough to roll to the basket.
Griner with that hoop, now the only Phoenix scorer in double figures.
And the Lynx have 3.
And Griner, who was 10 of 10 Wednesday night, misses on that one.
And the game before that, she was 5 of 5.
Moore on the drive. Talbot takes a tumble, no foul call. Augustus raising up for 3. Too strong. Talbot with a rebound, looking to run. Down low to Griner, and Griner gets tangled up with Augustus again. Well, Phoenix playing with certainly more spirit here in this third quarter, but it hasn't translated to trimming much off of the deficit here, Annie.
Yeah, on the defensive end, but absolutely more energy. I'm sure that they were not happy with the way they played in that first half, and a lot more focus. But, you know, Sandy Brondello talks about it all the time. We have to come out with energy, and we can see the energy, but that's all well and good, but you've got to get shots to be knocked down, and you've got to play some pretty good defense and come up with defensive stops.
Joe Reeve going to her bench here as Whalen will sit down along with Augustus as Gia Perkins and Renee Montgomery both check in. A couple of longtime vets. Montgomery, 9th season out of UConn. Had 20 points against LA. That was a season high. 3 steals as well. Has struggled with a 3-point shot this season.
Well, the Mercury playing a little bit of a zone, trying to.
There's a pass to Perkins. Checked by Taurasi. Crossing over, moving to her left. Misfires. Rebound Robinson.
That was good defense that time.
Robinson keeps coming on the attack. Takes it high off the glass with a left-hand finish.
Wow, she just blew by people.
Out to Moore. Raising up in transition. Knocks it down.
Maya Moore just quiets the crowd with an unbelievable shot.
The second time she's done so after a big Phoenix make. Comes right down. Just another reason why she's an all-star yet again. 17 points for Moore. Phoenix has outscored Minnesota here in this third quarter, but also trailed by as many as 19. Little controls the tip over to Griner. Pass inside to Griner. Brunson will be whistled for the foul.
Well, I think the Mercury were lucky on that because that was a long pass. And when you have that long a pass, it's easy for the defense to step in.
Especially when the defender has very long arms herself, and Rebecca Brunson. Brunson, the league's all-time leader in offensive rebounds. That took place last August.
Griner missing a free throw. And one of the things that the Lynx do so well against Brittany Griner is that they will put her at the free throw line. They're willing to take those points rather than her getting deep in the lane and scoring.
4 of 6 tonight now, 12 points. Her and Danielle Robinson, the only 2 Phoenix scorers in double figures, as she able to knock that one down. 58-44. If they could somehow get this to 9 or 10 at the quarter, you feel like you've got a shot here, Annie.
No, certainly the Mercury have players that can hit threes, but
then
what
again,
a shot.
you've got players like Maya Moore who make it oh so tough.
Yeah, she's going to be a 6-time All-Star and was a 2013 Finals MVP.
Good shot there, Monique Curry. Much needed.
Well, they chip it away. 13.
Brunson raising up, looking for the three-point effort. No.
Boy, Pearson was just crashing. They call it on Cannon, but Pearson, the old veteran, just understands how to get to the offensive glass and locks up arms, and they call it on the defense. Cannon getting called for the foul.
Yeah, you know, it didn't seem like much on the surface, but the addition of another talented veteran like Lynette Pearson is more unable to get that one off of the fingertips of Gia Perkins. But here she is, Lynette Pearson in her 15th season. But she averaged almost 12 points per game last season for Dallas in her 27 starts. So it's not like the tank was empty, and to be able to bring her off the bench with a team like this is Montgomery. Gets a steal on Robinson. Robinson almost gets it back. And Robinson looking down the floor. Miscommunication about what they were to be running offensively with Cannon and Curry out there, perhaps.
You talked about Pearson in her 15th season, Perkins in her 14th season, both of them 35. And, when you have that veteran leadership coming off the bench, it really helps.
Here's the inbound. Brunson able to slip past.
Yeah, you can't
Brittany
have a
Griner.
pass, an easy pass inside like that. And I say it's easy. It probably wasn't. But the fact that the Lynx were able to execute and get that ball inside to Brunson, and then Griner turns around and fouls and picks up her fourth.
That puts Brunson at the stripe, who promptly knocks it down. 7 points for Brunson to go along with her 5 rebounds. Brunson hitting a career best 4 threes at Chicago.
The Lynx 6 of 7 from the free throw line. The Mercury 13 of 18.
Mitchell coming off the screen. Can't find the range on the 3. Up ahead to Moore, who's had a big third quarter. 11 of her 19 coming in here in the third. Drops off the easy pass to Pearson, who lays it up and in.
Well, they were on a run. They had cut it to 13, and then all of a sudden it just jumped right back up.
Here's Griner, takes the feed from Mitchell. Able to knock it down.
And a good execution by the Mercury that time.
Montgomery working across the lane, trying to reverse course. 2 on the shot clock. Doesn't see it. Phoenix getting their first shot clock violation against Minnesota tonight. It comes with 22.3 left here in the third.
Yeah, Cheryl Reeve not happy at all with that play, and Renee Montgomery, more of a veteran player, should know better to get a shot on.
Montgomery stemming the defense out on Mitchell. Starts the offense with there just over 8 seconds left, down to 4. Curry with the ball fake, works to her left, raising up, shooting, and can't get it to go. As the horn sounds to end the third quarter, a better quarter for Phoenix, but they still find themselves, they have found themselves in a 19-point hole. They trail by 15 as we begin the third.
Yeah, Maya Moore in that third quarter really was pretty special. I mean, she just knocks down big shots after big shots, and they've got a lot of players like that. Simone Augustus, we've seen down that. Pearson, just the KG veteran out there.
Yeah, the first half it was Augustus with 13. That quarter, as you noted, Maya Moore, 11 of her 19. Curry to her left, Yvonne Turner feeding it inside.
Too soft to pass.
Can't do that against the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, who's also the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. That's Sylvia Fowles. Fowles takes the pass. Kicks it back to Augustus. Got to get something going. 2 on the shot clock. Augustus just raising up, firing. Too strong. Rebound Mitchell looking to run. Up ahead to Turner over the top. Cannon can't handle that one. Ill-advised pass.
Yeah, too crowded down there. The break was done.
For Phoenix.
Lynx did a good job getting back on the defense.
Fouls, calls for it, gets it, turns. With the ball fake, stripped there by Mitchell.
Yeah, but
Griner is down and
knee.
writhing in pain, holding a right knee. Griner down on the baseline underneath the Mercury basket, and she is in a lot of pain right now.
Oh,
it looked like she was holding her knee initially. Now
she was. No, she landed so awkward, and that knee bent. Leading scorer and shot blocker, and leaving with 15 points and 4 rebounds in her 24 minutes.
Certainly brought a hush over this crowd. They know what the loss of Brittany Griner would mean to this team, as Leilani Mitchell knocks down the first free throw.
Especially with the Mercury going into Minnesota on Sunday.
Phoenix trying to pick up some full court pressure here. Within 13 as Pearson and Cannon get tangled up.
Well, Emma Cannon, welcome to the WNBA. The rookie not getting the call. And the bench and coaches for the Mercury are very upset.
Pearson able to gather, goes inside to fouls, sweeping across with the right hand.
Now you can see the Lynx just recognizing now Kayla George, definitely not the defensive player that Brittany Griner is, and Angel Robinson, which is interesting because in the first matchup, the Mercury had just gotten Monique Curry and Angel Robinson, and it was their first game, and Robinson had 8 rebounds in that game with Griner on the bench.
Fouls, able to stick the first free throw. (66-51). Under 8.5 to play here in the fourth. A win tonight would give Minnesota their best start in franchise history. That coming off a 13-0 start. There's that pass stolen by Whalen. It somehow gets kicked around over to Curry. 4 on the shot clock. Curry on the drive, puts it up, gets contact with the foul, and that will send Monique Curry to the line to shoot a pair.
And the Mercury avoid the turnover, and Curry fortunate enough to get a foul call.
But you see this Minnesota team, Annie, and when you watch several offensive possessions, and whether it's Phoenix or any other team, but just how far their defenders play on the perimeter. I mean, there's nothing easy given. They play the passing lanes, and if you're set up 22 feet from the basket, that's where your defender is.
Well, they're long. They're a lot like if you want to compare them to the Warriors, because they can switch. A lot of players play different positions, and they can switch on different players.
Here's the rangy Augustus being checked defensively by Taurasi. Cannon stepping out, but step late. Perkins checks out. Maya Moore comes back in after her big third quarter. After Whalen, 5 on the shot clock. Augustus getting inside. No help there again without the presence of a Brittany Griner.
Pearson did a nice job going to the high side away from the baseline to set a screen, and Emma Cannon went with her. And Simone Augustus just drove baseline, and Cannon was not there to help out.
Rossi can't get to 3, but Mitchell tracks down the offensive board. Been a tough shooting night for Diana Taurasi as Mitchell leaves that three-point effort short. Phoenix now 2 of 14 from beyond the arc, shooting 35% from the field.
Well, Taurasi's first 2 games, she did hit a three-pointer in both those first 2 games. And
Pearson will cue up the 3, shoots an air ball.
This would be the first game Taurasi does not score a three-pointer this season, but it's a lot of minutes left to go. And we've seen her knock down some big shots.
Well, she caught fire there in that second half against Atlanta Wednesday night.
But it helped having Griner out on the floor.
Taurasi getting past Augustus on the lay-in. Puts it up and in.
And Taurasi now in double figures.
Close as they have been here in the second half. 13. Get the switch. Augustus, quick pull, knocks it down.
Well, that was tough. Diana Taurasi had to help out on Sylvia Fowles, and by the time she got back to Simone Augustus, Augustus was already rising up for her shot.
Cannon attacks Moore. Moore whistle for the foul. Moore pleading her case.
Yeah, I like the fact that Emma Cannon was aggressive, and we know that we've heard so much about her being over in Europe and being a top scorer and rebounder over there, even with her size. And she plays a different role on this Mercury team, but when she gets in and Griner's out of the game now, she's got to have that mentality to score.
So after such a great shooting night Wednesday from the stripe, Phoenix now 17 of 23. So on a night when they needed to be perfect from the line, unable to get it. 1 of 2 on that trip for Cannon. Makes it a 14-point game as we move in on 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. Moore with Curry checking her defensively, getting past Taurasi. Augustus straight away, rims out no. Fouls, fights for the offensive rebound, and we get a whistle and a foul. That'll be charged on Kayla George, her first. And that will put Sylvia Fowles at the line. Oh, non-shooting foul, they say.
Now you can just see the momentum. The Lynx just look like they have so much more confidence with Griner out.
Whalen steps into the long three, got it. It's been a quiet night for Whalen, but they haven't needed her offense. Here's Taurasi, moves inside, left elbow jumper, left it short. Pearson tangled up with her. Taurasi barking at the official, wanted the foul.
I don't know if we can see that replay on Taurasi's shot.
Tommy Nunez telling Sandy Brondello and Taurasi both no foul.
Well, Taurasi picked up 2 technicals in San Antonio. And the second technical I still don't agree with or understand. But she gets pushed from behind. And as she comes down, does she land on Pearson?
Well, I think she was calling for the push from behind. Tommy Nunez was referring to the contact with Pearson as Taurasi.
And then they calling, saying she was not in the act of shooting. They were calling that no matter what before.
It's got to be a continuation.
No, they waved it off.
The basket will be scored, and that'll put Taurasi at the line. Well, this goes back to the animosity and the dislike between these two teams.
The other thing is, even in Taurasi landing, her arms are there within, and Pearson's in her space. So to me, that she's still a shooter by the time she comes down, is what we've been told.
Whalen getting inside and just too big, too strong for the smaller Leilani Mitchell as Whalen shouting up into the stands. Whalen 5'9", going against Leilani Mitchell, who is 5'5".
Whalen's so good. Always has been coming into this league. One of the best post-up guards. Understands how to play with her back to the basket, especially when she's got a smaller player on her.
Whalen gets the roll. 76-59. Dinah Taurasi subbed out. She is most likely done for the night now, with these two teams squaring off on Sunday and potentially without the likes of a Brittany Griner, who suffered an injury about 3.5, 4 minutes ago. Went to the Mercury locker room.
Yeah, certainly keeping Diana Taurasi in under wraps. Did not hit 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. She was 5 of 17 from the floor. Had some good looks, but I think towards the end of this game, she's getting pretty involved emotionally, and I think Sandy Brondello recognizing that, not wanting her to get another technical.
Curry able to scoop the second one up and in.
Now Sandy Brondello giving Kayla George an opportunity to play because that
Augustus,
spin move.
Again, wheeling inside. Just
there's that size factor.
Yep, bigger, stronger player there for the Lynx as she got it up over Turner.
But Angel Robinson sitting in this second half.
Turner for 3. Loose ball foul called on Kayla George. 4:35 to go here in the fourth.
Yeah, and Kayla George more of a three-point shooter, kind of out of position to get an offensive rebound from there. She had to come all the way from the corner.
(29-24) rebounding edge for Minnesota. So not a big disparity, but it's been the timing of the rebounds for the Lynx.
And the Lynx have shot pretty well, so not too many rebounds left for them. They've shot over
almost 53%.
Right. And the Mercury have gotten to the free throw line 27 times, and they've missed 6. I wonder if Sandy Brondello will go with Alexis Prince at all, the rookie from Baylor who hasn't played much. And Monique Curry with a nice knockdown.
Straight away 3 over the defender, Whalen. Curry now in double figures with 10, 16 minutes.
Yeah, when she was in San Antonio, she was averaging 14 points off the bench.
Pearson on the drive, just too strong. Even in her 15th season, Pearson with a little burst.
Yeah, she got right by Cannon.
Turner wanted to get it inside to Cannon, but not enough space. Turner left wide open for 3. Cannon with the offensive rebound, and then that putback effort was smothered there by Sylvia Fowles.
That would have been nice if Cannon did not put the ball on the floor. It would have given her a little bit more time to get it up before Fowles got in there for the block.
Curry able to get inside on Fowles, but challenged there by Fowles on the shot. Fouls again, just too deep post position and too easy for Sylvia Fowles, who now has 18 and 10, and it's a 20-point.
I should say Tiffany Hayes was an all-star in 2015.
So biggest lead of the night for Minnesota. As Cheryl Reeves going to
go into a
some
zone.
more of her bench players here. There's the Mercury's rookie who's able to knock it down. Well, good to see the
Maya Moore has 7 assists, ties the season high with 19 points and her 5 rebounds. Fouls her 9th double-double of the season with 18 points, 10 rebounds. And Augustus with her season high of 19 points.
Howard on the handoff to Gia Perkins, under 2.5 to go. Howard again inside, sweeping across that left hand, had it partially blocked there by Kayla George. Here's Prince, the Mercury's First round pick this year out of Baylor. Mitchell on a drive and kick. George baseline jumper, no. So Phoenix will, as Renee Montgomery finds the shooter's touch there. Phoenix will slip to 11-7. Meanwhile, Minnesota, as we noted, will improve to 14-2, best start in franchise history. This coming off of a franchise best 28-6 record last season, but did not result in a championship as they fell in a well-played and a terrific WNBA final series. The Sparks coming away with a victory. Yeah,
last year's regular season MVP Nneka Ogwumike made an incredible shot at the buzzer. Who's also having another terrific year, shooting only 2 players, Sylvia Fowles and Nneka Ogwumike, shooting over 60% from the floor.
You see Reeve in her 8th season, 2-time Coach of the Year. She earned it last season and then first time around back in 2011. But they've had 5 seasons, 5 of the last 6 years, 25 wins or more. So they have been a model of consistency. Three-time champs like Phoenix. That pass gets away, and Alexis Jones, another rookie out of Baylor, 12th pick overall. Had her season high 9 minutes last Saturday at Chicago. Turner trying to get the backdoor cut, lost the handle. Perkins pass inside, tapped around. Mitchell comes away with it for Phoenix. They've got numbers. Kayla George on the break.
Now that's a shot you got to use on the backboard. I mean, you practice that fast break drill.
And of course, George has seen her minutes dwindle considerably.
Yeah, and it's tough when you've got to play these kind of minutes, and even though it's at the end of the game and conditioning has changed.
Perkins with the pull-up. Minnesota basically right at their season average. Here's Turner. Got loose down the lane, puts it up and in.
Well, for that first half for the Mercury, just scoring 24 points. They've done it much better in the second half, and that third quarter, they really came out with a lot of energy.
Yeah, the opening quarter, Annie, where they went 5+ minutes without a field goal and 4.5 without a single point. We watched Minnesota take an 11-point lead at the end of one. They put together that 7-0 run late in the first, and Phoenix just never able to recover. And this will be 11 straight losses now by Phoenix to Minnesota. So the Lynx clearly have the number of the Mercury. And of course, those losses include playoff losses last season and back in 2015.
Yeah, then it becomes a mental and emotional thing to try and get a win.
Final seconds tick away here. Mitchell will just dribble out the clock. And these two teams will get together again Sunday afternoon in Minnesota. That will do it here in downtown Phoenix. Of course, the